On us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. First carry now for the former Viking. This is Jerick McKinnon.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And his first pass is incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, Winston. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Winston. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Eric Armstead in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Niners will go on offense 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Noah Spence in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. They run it with McKinnon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. To throw, it's Garoppolo. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It got his man complete. A big 3rd down play there for the Niners. 57 yards.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on 3rd and long like that, how does that happen that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again.
So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Garoppolo looks to throw. He's got a man complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll try and run with McKinnon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Niners have taken the early lead. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Gould able to tack on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Gould now out to kick it away. This will be taken about the 12. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. That is incomplete. And give credit to Reuben Foster, the linebacker, getting a hand in to disrupt.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Winston. He's got Evans. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. First down, Winston. And he's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Again, it's Winston. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Jameis again. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll throw again. Winston trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now Garoppolo throwing on second. Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
So forget the 3 and out. The penalty makes this 1st and 10. Here's McKinnon. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, Creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Garoppolo now. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Ready? Black 25!
Down row. And he'll be taken down at the 18. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They've got a second down at 5 here to start things out. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be third down. Here's Winston. He finds Humphreys. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play for the Bucs there on third down. 48 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Play action now. Winston under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Cassius Marsh in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Jameis to throw it. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Cassius Marsh in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. To throw is Winston. He's going to air one out. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. Now McKinnon to start the drive. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he will score.
I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive. Then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You've just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
Garoppolo on 1st down. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. He just joined the double-digit party with that last pick. He now has 10 on the season.
And that takes a great amount of skill, study, a tad bit of luck. But bottom line, he's had a heck of a season.
Following the interception, Winston. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the former first-rounder, Jimmy Ward.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. McKinnon. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. A dump down to McKinnon. And down he'll go at the 25. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Yeah, can he put it aside? Let's find out. They'll start things on 1st down with Bo Scarborough. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats, but really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Two minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. There's Scarborough on the toss. And some room to work. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one good for 33 and a first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Solomon Thomas in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Winston being chased out left. Now he's going to let it go deep back over the middle. And oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
The Bucs on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 17. Here's Winston. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Here's Garoppolo on first and 10. A dump down to McKinnon. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And he goes out right around the 39. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a second down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup with someone trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Garoppolo now, 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at first and 10. To throw is Garoppolo. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. Garoppolo in the offense with a first and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Play action. Garoppolo throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Goodwin. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 11 more on that one, and another first down. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, this from 33. And Gold is able to put it through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they get the field goal here at the end of the second quarter and take the lead into the lockers.
And isn't that what every team wants to do? Right at the end of the half, put points on the board and go into the locker room feeling a lot better about themselves.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Now a second down throw for Winston. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Jameis now 6 of 17 throwing the ball, only 35%, but he does have a 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Winston. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And he gets it down to the 32. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Now, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. 3rd and short yardage, Winston. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. Now McKinnon. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by M.J. Stewart. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Now they'll run it with Scarborough. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Jameis on 2nd down. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Eric Armstead, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and they will take the lead at 13-10. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. To throw, it's Garoppolo. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Here's Garoppolo to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Levante David. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On 1st and 10, Winston. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. A very solid gain of 27.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They'll run for it with Bo Scarborough. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
He gets it halfway there with that run. I think you play up-tempo, get right back on the line of scrimmage, and hammer at him again.
Second and goal from the 1. He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to be shoved back short of the goal line. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1. The San Francisco defense trying to hold tough again. This is 3rd and goal. They come out here in the eye. Now a toss play. This is Scarborough. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Bo Scarborough with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point good by Catanzaro, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Vinny Curry in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Garoppolo, 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Back now in Tampa. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped. Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And that's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. The tight end, Kittle, has it on the left side. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Garoppolo again. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And now running right through it. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Going up top. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to sling this deep down. That's caught inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
And he'll take this one down near the 15. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Niners on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
And there's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The drive starts on the ground with Scarborough. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. The tackle there by Richard Sherman.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long.
Ready. Blue ready.
From the gun, Winston. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. That goes for a gain of 31. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. This is Scarborough. He gets away from one. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2nd down, Winston. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Jameis to throw it. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is going to be 49er football.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. After the fumble recovery, it's Garoppolo. Oh, going deep here for Taylor. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. Oh, going deep here for Taylor. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 13. They'll start off with a give to Scarborough. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. For a big guy, Jameis sure can move. Did a nice job there picking up the 1st down with his legs. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They run. This is Scarborough. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Ready? Hey. Wait.
They're looking to throw this. Winston. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the former Super Bowl MVP, Malcolm Smith. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
They give him 17 yards that time, as that'll move the chains. And they'll go on the ground. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. He's back to throw. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. Instead, it's incomplete. Boy, that really could have turned this one upside down. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time they face a 3rd and 2. He'll look to throw. Able to haul it in is Kittle. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Levante David. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go. Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Buccaneers, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they'll have another home date next week as the Carolina Panthers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Niners, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now on the year. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Hey, I ain't folding under pressure. I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no, but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights, just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp. I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Look into the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. Shorty wanna me cousin wearing gold. I came up and made it happen. I was by the stove. Big inside this cases once. Do me dirty, I'ma find you lay your out on the floor. 19 with a I got rich by myself. Rather do this alone. I wasn't asking for no help. They keep asking how I'm winning with the card that I was dealt. Boy, I work hard for the seat and I ain't buckling my belt. Call my brother on the phone. He said, broski, you a star. I said, brother, hold it down. Soon we'll all be living large. And it's crazy how I out my garage. Now I'm in a good position for this life, can't sabotage. I ain't folding under pressure. I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp. I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. I got tattoos on my face, I use that as motivation. I can never get a job, so for my dream I'm dedicated. For a second, lost myself, I was too busy getting now they see me out in public and be knowing what my name is. All these rappers want the clout and the life of being famous. I just wanna be stable, tell my family we made it. I was coming for my spot, a young had to be patient. Now I'm running up, these bands can hit the island for vacation. I've been know my haters, you could say I'm constipated. 5 racks on his fit, just to stunt while I'm in Vegas. On my body, shout out to my Caleb Young. Got the cake up, now he's wanna date us. I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo.
Pulling up in that new toy, the wrist on that boy, rock star like Pink Floyd. Waving at rude boy, I'm waving at you, boy. Boy, these ain't the same.